background, no noise, please. We're going live.
We are live. Yep, we are live. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on where you are in the world and when you're watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Lyonsview Realty Financial Fridays. My name is Clara Lyons-DeVaughn, and I am the broker owner of Lyonsview Realty. We provide residential, commercial for small businesses, and nonprofits and property management services. We also have resources for real estate pre-licensing, continuing education classes, homebuyer financing, down payment and closing cost assistance. Where's that money? Uh, Homeowner distressed housing solutions, and health and wealth education and coaching. So I just want to thank you for tuning in to Lyonsview Realty, the Financial Fridays broadcast. Please, please, please subscribe, like, and share this broadcast with others. You can find additional Financial Friday content on Facebook and on YouTube at Clara Lyons-DeVaughn, and get connected through bit.ly Lyonsview Lifestyle. So Lyonsview Realty is committed to ensuring that you have resources, information, and tips to assist you in making the best financial decisions. We want to maximize your wealth building power now and in the future. Financial Fridays, we want to help you stay current on the trends that really impact your bottom line. So I'm really, really excited to introduce today's guest. My first introduction to, I'll call it New Jersey hospitality.
I love it.
Through through today's guest. I was in the library studying for my New Jersey license exam, and she reached out. She greeted me. I was a total stranger. She had that winning smile, the warmth. She had information. She was telling me how to get connected in my new city, in my neighborhood. And what began that day was a friendship that has lasted many years. So Miss Norwood is a phenomenal woman. She's a wife, an author, an evangelist, a wealth of information. She is a connector, most definitely, and she's an advocate for ensuring individuals and families have access to affordable legal services, which is why we're here today. So I am honored, I am excited to introduce today's guest, Miss Tanya Norwood. Welcome, Tanya.
Thank you so much, Claire, for having me this morning or whenever you're watching. It's just really wonderful to be with you.
Awesome. So can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Oh, absolutely. So I'll just start with how I actually got involved in the industry that I've been involved in for well over 30 years now. So I come straight out of corporate America, and I'm working. And all of a sudden, I should say that my background's in human resources. Way back when we called it personnel, the people business, and today it's human resources. It's still the people business. And I was in the automotive industry. I was in the publishing industry. I spent most of my time in the banking industry. Did a stint with Welfare to Work and the medical industry, healthcare industry. You might be thinking, like, why so many industries? Have you heard of downsizing, restructuring, re-engineering? Whatever they call it, they let you go. So that was my story. It is my story. And there were a few times that I sidestepped getting laid off, but it wasn't a good thing because the work was redistributed and we received more work, but we didn't receive more pay. And can anyone relate or say with me, stressed? I was stressed. Not only was I stressed, I was distressed. And then I became depressed. I was missing time out of my life, and we're to live the abundant life. So that was not working for me. And so a gentleman who had been talking with me periodically called one day, and I was sitting in my office. Right before he called, I really did literally pray. And I was like, Lord, this is not working. I was doing a welfare work program in the public sector when I offered employment, people, before I even offered, they're calling, when are you going to offer? The welfare to work program is the exact opposite. And I was frustrated. And I was like, and Lord, I cannot go back to the corporate sector. He called and I was like, oh my goodness, answer prayer. And so I said to him, come over to my office this evening and share with me what you have going on. He came over. He was in the Pennsylvania area. He came over and we sat that evening and he shared about the services that I'm going to share with you. And then they just made sense to me. And as Clara said, I believe in having access to resources. I believe in being proactive versus reactive. And I believe in protecting my family when I hear about good things. And so I took the services immediately. And then I learned that there was an opportunity to share with other people the services and get compensated. That made sense to me because I was looking for a way out. Remember, I was just praying, right? And so I saw the opportunity as far as entrepreneurial income, and I jumped in. I jumped in with both feet, no experience, but that's what I love. The company Legal Shield has a solid business model, and they have a system which we call training, and you get trained everywhere. Even when I was extending offers of employment, people brought their skill set, but nonetheless, they still needed to go through their orientation and training period. No different doing your own entrepreneurial venture. And so for the last 20 years, I've been blessed to share information around our services, how they help people and help people financially as well. And so it's just been a blessing.
That's really awesome. Really awesome. Because I like a couple of things that you said. One, you said that people bring their skill set to the business, and folks are looking for side hustles. You know, we're in an environment where stuff is happening, downsizing is happening. And if, you know, folks are looking for something else to do, not only is this a service that provides great resources to other people, but it is an opportunity for people who are interested in doing, you know, getting a second income
Yes.
to possibly participate from that perspective. Let's talk a little bit about the services, the legal resources that are available through your company.
Okay. And I'd like to start and preference the conversation by saying that the company actually started out a need and not greed. So our founder, Harlan Stonecipher, who's since passed away, maybe like 3 or 4 years now, he had a serious car accident. A woman hit him head on and totaled his car. If you see the picture, it is mangled and his car is on its hood. It's not going to be repaired. And but for the grace of God, he didn't die. And so she was at fault at the scene of the accident. She received the traffic ticket. And you would think that it would all go away. Well, after the event, she did what he could not do. She obtained an attorney on her behalf, and the story was twisted, and so therefore he had to go into court to defend himself for something that he already was innocent of. And in court, it was proven that he was innocent. Yet he said, I felt some kind of way because he left $3,600 later. And he was like, I'm just a hardworking person. He was a school teacher by day and sold insurance by night, had a young family, and there was no help. For the car, there was car insurance to replace the car. For his stay in the hospital, there was medical coverage. God forbid he had died, there would have been life insurance because that's what he did in the evenings. But there was no legal protection. And first of all, he really shouldn't have needed any because he was innocent. But again, life is happening. And when we are needing to defend ourselves, we need to defend ourselves. And he said, no person should ever have to face what he faced. He's growing in life, and then an unexpected circumstance presents itself. It could be a car accident. It could be something with your home, with your apartment, with your cell phone. Just life is happening. And where do you turn? Who do you get help from? And so that's how our company started. He found the model outside of the company, actually in Germany. Did you know? In Germany, you can't get a driver's license without a legal plan. And he
What?
brought that model back. And over the last 40 some years, close to 50 years, 48 and counting, we have evolved into the company that we are today. And so when something's happening, who are you talking to? I'm listening to people, and a whole lot is going on with the pandemic. People concerned about what that means as far as working, going to work, not working, working from home, with the stimulus checks, what happens. And who are you talking to? Like, I have the good fortune with my husband, but it's still all new to us. And I say to people, are you talking with your attorney about it? And they're just looking at me like a deer in headlights, because they don't have that resource. They don't have that avenue to go down. And our members, over 1.7 million of them all across the country and in all provinces of Canada, they absolutely have that option available to them to pick up that telephone, or we're doing everything by the palm of our hand these days, but to pick up that phone, because we're involved, we don't have to go into the office and just push the button and get our provider law firm on the phone and begin to ask our questions, address our concerns, or just deal with situations that are going on. And this is what I absolutely love. Can you relate to this? Someone's actually listening to you.
Yes, yes.
No
That's
longer white noise.
right.
Someone's listening
And
to you.
right. And that's what, it's interesting because that's what insurance does. It provides you with a resource and a way to pay for that resource, when you're not expecting it. It kind of puts that out over time, and that resource is affordable as well. So I think people don't really think about sometimes all the reasons why they might, need legal services. So if you could kind of talk a little bit about the various types of services that are available through.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely, Clara.
yeah.
So we're just coming, yay, I'm excited. I don't know about you, but we're just coming out of the inclement weather. And this year for us in the eastern part of the country, if you will, we had a whole lot of snow. And so as a result of that, a whole lot of things could have happened for you as an individual. So there could have been property damage, and you have questions about how that works and how do I navigate that. Even though you might be interfacing with your homeowner's insurance, they may not really be wanting to meet you where you are. And what do? You don't have to just you have an avenue that you can pursue. Again, you push the button on your phone and start talking with your provider law firm. Uh, Price gouging. Remember when we couldn't get a whole lot of products because of the pandemic? Do you
Mhm.
remember how much some items cost you
Yeah.
just to have them? And it wasn't right. Well, people called and were able to complain, because we want to complain, because again, price gouging is not fair. And so how is that helping us? And so just being able to do that, I know that for myself personally, I travel a lot with the business, and my luggage got broken, and I did everything that the airline asked me to do. I immediately got off the airplane, and there was a office in the airport, and they immediately told me that they don't take any complaints there, and directed me online, right, to the website. I did everything they asked, filled out the form, provided pictures, everything, and submitted. And they emailed me back and said, your claim is denied. How often have you been felt like you've been treated unfairly? I felt like I was treated unfairly. And so I emailed back. I said, I'll just have my attorney reach out to you. I just asked for $100, $25 because I had to check that bag coming home. That was the whole point of having the carry on. And then $75 because the bag was used. Uh, Denied. When my provider law firm listened to me and let me vent, and then said to me, Mrs. Norwood, we'll send an email on your behalf. And they did. The airline sent them a $300 voucher for me. How powerful is that? How
That's wonderful.
powerful is that?
Yeah.
And so, again, it can be something very small. Recently, I heard one of my business partners say she took her favorite dress, to the dry cleaners. And when she went to pick up her favorite dress, they didn't have her favorite dress. And they went back and forth, but there was no favorite dress. She called the law firm, and the law firm said, oh, we'll make a phone call on your behalf. They called, and all of a sudden, the favorite dress was back at the cleaners. And I chuckled to myself because I thought that was going to be somebody else's favorite dress. But how often would we pick up the phone for something that small? So if it's small, we say trivial, or if it's traumatic. A friend of mine was having a home built in a gated community.
Mhm.
Then they decided not to do that because it was no longer going to be gated. And so they had signed paperwork and everything. And then they did subsequently build their home and were living in their home. And they got correspondence from the first builder saying, you owe us $10,000 for XYZ. They immediately picked up the phone, talked with the attorney. The attorney said, listen, it's not gated, and they were supposed to build a certain amount of properties in a certain amount of times. But because they have not done that, you are not obligated according to your contract. And
Yeah.
so, with that information, there, the $10,000 went away. But how many other people were trying to at that point figure out how to get $10,000, Claire, like you said, because it's unexpected, because they don't have the attorney to review the contractor documents. So I've talked about being able to call into the law firm and get
Yes.
advice, get a consultation. They're writing letters, making phone calls on our members' behalf if they get a clear understanding of what's going on. They're doing that contract and document review. Like we can read. I used to say in my house, my husband went to college, and I finally did catch up and graduate. But we can read, but sometimes the legalese, we don't always understand it. And while the bold print gives it to us, the fine print can take it away. And so now we have someone reading all of the print on our behalf with our best interest at heart. So those are the main things we do, along with estate planning.
Mhm.
Estate planning, getting your will done. Clara, just because we talk about the will doesn't mean we're dying.
Yes.
But what it does mean is that we're being proactive, and we like to say in our industry, we're putting that love letter in place. So I'm saying to our children, I'm saying to my grandchildren, if I have some great grandchildren, we were thinking about you. Mom and dad were thinking about you in advance, just in case something happened, and we put in place what we wanted for you all and how it all should play out. So when that time comes and we're no longer here, you don't have to deal with all of the business at hand along with your emotions, and it's just chaotic. And I'm sure as a broker, you see that all too clearly, more often than you would like.
Yes, yes, definitely. And it's interesting because a lot of times when people transition, or they're even caring for mom and dad, and now they need to downsize that property, having the right documents in place, so the right person can speak on behalf of you, whether you're you know conscious or unconscious, or you've transitioned on, is very, very important. And people scramble, they end up going to surrogate court. And a lot of times they don't understand what the process is. And I think it's really important, one, to be able to reach out and call, like you said, having that ability to call an attorney to get some advice, and two, having the documents in place,
Yes.
having be able to either review documents that you have, or to assist in preparing documents that you need to get through that process is really
And yes, and ahead of time. So aside from the standard will that we need to have in place, then you're talking about the living will or advanced directive. Do you want to resuscitate or not resuscitate? You get to make that decision while you're clear in your mind about what you would want for yourself. And then the powers of attorney, the financial power of attorney, the medical power of attorney. What are your wishes that you would like your family to abide by? And you can put all of these documents in place, stand alone by themselves on the low end. If you could get someone that's really going to just help you, $500, that's not really a true figure, like $750 to $950 for one document, but let's say 500 for easy math. So those four documents, that's $2,000 right there, just to do the estate planning. So again, from people thinking they're going to die to the cost of it, it becomes prohibited. And we, again, as you said, make it very affordable for our members to be able to be proactive, put all of those things in place so that your loved ones know exactly what your wishes are, and everything can run smoothly as you move forward.
yeah. I think that's really important, the affordability issue.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. One is that you have access to attorneys in all different disciplines. You know, you don't have to
Yes.
talk with this kind of attorney or that kind of attorney. All that resources in one place, and then the affordability of it, what you would pay for um, the services would be less expensive than, you know, if you were to do those things a la carte. So that's a really, really good point. Hmm. And
Absolutely.
yeah, are there other services that are available?
Yes. So, in a nutshell, we do a whole lot of things, which I absolutely love, and we stay cutting edge. There's a traffic piece because people are getting speeding tickets, sometimes moving traffic violations. And so it's not good because you don't want to just pay the ticket because there are points. Points, your insurance goes up, there's a fine, all of that. So as long as our members properly licensed, insured, no drugs or alcohol, they have an attorney that goes to court with them on their behalf. And sometimes the attorney just calls in because he knows the network of attorneys and judges. And good results. It either gets all goes away or it gets reduced down to something lesser. And that's really advantageous. It's a game being played in traffic court. So we should all play by the same rules, if you will. IRS, listen, I've been audited twice. I was really scared because I didn't even know about Legal Shield. With Legal Shield, I'm really, really smart. Okay. You get like 20 hours of a tax attorney's time to consult, and then heaven forbid you have to actually go into the audit. I have someone I'm talking with actually today that has a situation that's going on that was referred to me. So these things absolutely do happen. And listen, in the climate, the times that we live, we see what's happening in the news. Access is so important. And so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, in an emergency situation, our members can tap the app, the little red button on the app, or we even give cards that you pass off with your license, registration, insurance card that says, if it's your intent to question, detain, or arrest me, please allow me to call my attorney, because we have rights as U.S. citizens, and they're called Miranda rights. Here's the thing. What's the point of having rights if you cannot enact your rights? And most people, the Miranda rights say you can remain silent or call your attorney. Most people are silent because they don't have an attorney to call unless they're saying they can't breathe, unfortunately. And so by the side of the highway or at the police station, you can be in touch with your attorney within the 2 to 3 minute window. And a lot of times, once law enforcement knows that you have that resource available to you, there are just too many stories. It just becomes a regular stop that it was going to be, or if it wasn't going to be, they just politely excuse themselves. And that's what you want, whether it's because of color, whether it's because we're women, female, whether it's because we have teenagers, it doesn't matter. We still all have rights, and right is right. And so we do that. And then our identity theft piece, privacy. Just privacy. Everybody's listening to everybody. You have Siri or Alexa, they're listening to you, right? You're out on social media. How much more are we out on social media because of the pandemic? And so we have our reputations out on social media. And so, again, we're doing the whole identity theft piece, if you will. When I started 20 years ago, Clara, we didn't even offer identity theft. It doesn't mean that it wasn't around. Country to country, business to business, but not for you and I, the consumer. But today it's a big, big problem, billions of dollars. And it's not always financial. Sometimes people's whole lives are destroyed because people get their information in the things that they do. And so what I absolutely love about the service is not just that we're doing the monitoring with full restoration and a service guarantee and all of that. That's just there in the event that you need it. Our members can utilize their ID Shield, being proactive, just to talk with the licensed investigator about what's going on and what their concerns are, and just, get some guidance. And how awesome is that? Because we're not trying to use our car insurance, because if we use our car insurance, there is something bad has happened. We've had an accident. If we use our life insurance, we're not even using it. It's our family members. If we use our medical coverage, all of those things, something has occurred, and it's usually not good unless you're having a baby. Okay. But with our ID Shield, we're doing the piece to have it there just in case. Hopefully, you've never been victimized. I have the IRS sent me a notice saying somebody attempted to file under your taxes. So, Mrs. Norwood, every time you file moving forward, we need you to use this 4-digit PIN. But I hope you never become victimized. But nonetheless, as I was saying, our members can just talk with the private licensed investigator and just be with their concerns, and nothing has to be going on. And I think that's absolutely phenomenal.
Wow. That's like a slew of benefits and resources. So, there are legal resources for individuals, for families, for businesses.
Yes, and I didn't
Um,
even mention that for businesses, people that want to launch a business, we actually have a product called Launch where they capture information from you and then they do everything for you, setting up your whole business, and then they give you 3 months additional to be able to interface to just get everything in order. And then they have small business plans. They have four plans. Like for me, as a home-based business, I actually can add a rider because I don't have employees, that type of thing. But if you have employees, it's just amazing. All of the things they offer. If you're commercial drivers, like a driver, there's a commercial driver's license plan, because again, their livelihood is out on the roadway. And if they get a ticket, their whole livelihood could go away, and not just in the truck, if they're in their personal vehicle. So it's all of these things, like you said, from the beginning of the program, that people don't know about, resources that are available to them that can help them, and it's affordable.
right, right. So what are the cost of the services?
So we do a bundle, if you will. We do a bundle for our members with the legal plan and the ID Shield plan. And so when we bundle that, that can be anywhere from $54 up to like 60 some dollars. But what I absolutely love, and that's for a family. So it
Okay.
would be you, your husband, it could be or significant other. We don't make judgment calls. It could be children under the age of 26 living at home, never married, or in college anywhere across the country. If you have legal guardianship for children up to the age of 18, and then physically handicapped children for the life of them. So when I'm talking like $54 up to 60 some dollars for the legal plan and the ID Shield, that's for an entire family. Again, my background's human resources, and we extend benefits to our new hires. Start adding dependents and see what that cost is, quite a bit. And then you can, but what I absolutely love, Clara, is that we can do what we know this term a la carte. You just pay individually for what works best for you. So you could do the legal plan by itself for $24.95. Let me drive this point home. $24.95 a month, okay, versus $250 an hour for an attorney. Okay. Or back to the estate planning, $500 for 4 documents. That's $2,000 just for 4 documents. Done. It's done. Or $24.95. You get all 4 documents and you get an entire year of all the things that we talked about this morning.
Awesome. That's an amazing value. So
Amazing.
so if I could recap it, they're legal resources for individuals, families, and small businesses.
Yes.
They have use or access to an attorney for you know, minor benefits to full representation in courts, to like
Yes.
on the spot phone call when you're in trouble. Legal consults, they can get advice on legal matters by just picking up the phone. And the benefit of that is that there are attorneys across many disciplines. So if like they're having issues, say with an eviction dispute or a billing or a credit dispute, just being able to get a consultation to get out of that particular issue. They would get legal document review and preparation, which ranges from letters to real estate contracts, which I deal with, to preparation of wills or estate planning documents. And also, would they get full representations in the event that they needed to go to trial or to court? Is that option available as well?
So if our members named in a civil suit, yes, they start out with the 60 hours of the attorney's time. Some of that is pre-trial, some of it is actual trial, and then each year it increases till in the 5th year it caps at 300 hours. We like to say your defense fund. If say, I'll give you an example real quick. If someone was received a moving traffic violation, no drugs, alcohol, properly licensed and insured, the attorney's going into court with them or on their behalf. If, however, there were any of those conditions, they weren't properly licensed, there was drugs and alcohol, the attorney would still represent them at a 25% member discount. So they would initially be able to call again under their benefit to explain what had occurred. And then at that point, when those factors come into play, now they still can secure the attorney, and again at the 25% member discount. And Clara, is very powerful because you're saying across all disciplines. So it's about 22 areas of law and in every state. So when we travel, people have gotten moving traffic violations in Virginia or out in Arizona because you rent a car. And who wants to go back there? All you have to do again is pick up the phone in your state where you reside. So say it would be New Jersey, and then they interface with the Virginia law firm, they interface with the Arizona law firm, and they take it from there. So very, very powerful.
Oh, wow, that's a good resource, and I wasn't aware of that. In fact, I had a client who, same thing, they got a ticket out of state and had to travel back to court
Mm-hmm.
for a moving violation.
Time and costly.
Time time and cost. And for $24.95, that would have been a great resolution
Yes.
to that
Yes.
to that.
Under the umbrella. Yes.
Yeah. So if people want to get in touch with you, how do they reach you? What's the best?
Very simply, T for my first name, T Norwood dot wearelegalshield.com, tnorwood.wearelegalshield.com. And when you go to the website, my number is there. There's information is there. You can email me. You can call me from there. Again, tnorwood.wearelegalshield.com.
Okay, I hope I typed that right without any typos, but it's tnorwood.wearelegalshield.com. So you can reach out to Miss Norwood for assistance with, any issues that you might have. Thanks for the comment, Miss Hawkins. She said great information. And thank you to everyone who is watching today. I just want to thank you, Tanya. I so appreciate you. It's a valuable service. Legal services, we don't, want to have to use them, but there are everyday situations, as you mentioned.
Yes. Life events.
Everyday life events that people can benefit from using that service. And you don't have to be in trouble. You might just need contract or documents reviewed or prepared on your behalf.
Or like you said, Clara, you're a broker, you have real estate agents selling homes and things. People are growing in life. And so when you're growing in life, you have that contract document that needs to be reviewed. Or like you said, they're downsizing. They've lived their lives. The children have gone to college. They're out on their own. They're downsizing. So good things can be happening. You're purchasing your, not just a vehicle, but your dream vehicle. And you want to make sure that they're not embedding life insurance policies in the contract, or they're charging you interest on a $500 car wash when you could have paid $20 or $25. All of those kinds of things. So good things can be happening. And all I know, business owners and very rich and famous people, they don't make any movement without consulting their attorney. And now you and I can do the same.
Yes. And I guess the last piece of it too is being about being in business. If you're looking for something to do, to add to your side hustle, add a new side hustle, there's also an opportunity for business development.
Yes.
So definitely reach out to Ms. Norwood. So appreciate the information that you've shared today.
You're welcome.
Being here. I want to thank all of the people who are viewing for tuning in to this broadcast today. Financial Fridays is here as a resource to you, and I hope that you received something of value today. I know that you did because I did. Our goal is to provide you with the resources, tools, information, and tips that assist you in making the best financial and life decisions now and in the future. So remember to like and share this broadcast and subscribe to at Clara Lyons-DeVaughn on YouTube, so you can check out additional content and have access to this broadcast and others for replay at your convenience. So I just want to send love and light out to anyone who has lost a loved one. If you have someone who's in the hospital for whatever reason and you can't see them, you can't be with them, and especially to our essential employees in healthcare, transportation, food services, police, and fire, and
Yeah.
most definitely and especially our leadership, love and light to you all. My name is Clara Lyons-DeVaughn. Financial Fridays airs live on Fridays at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and also on YouTube. So you can join us again next time. Until then, keep living your best life. Thank you
Absolutely.
so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Yes,
Have an amazing day, Claire.
you as well.
Thank you.